What's going on, guys? Welcome to workout number 2, day 2. Now let's get after it. Again, we're going to start with our mobility and our exercises. Hope you've been doing your stick handling drills with Coach Adrian. And if you have been, you're probably going to want to stretch your forearms out a little bit. So let me show you how we're going to do that. We're going to start on a quadruped position, so knees on the floor, hands on the floor. And I'm going to start with my wrist facing downward, okay? From this position, I want to be tall, shoulder, elbow, wrist, stacking the joints, and I'm just going to sink and rock my hips back. From here, keeping my arms completely straight, I'm going to feel a great stretch coming into the forearm. And if it's too much, just kind of release the tension, just go back as far as you can. The next one we're going to do once you've done 10 reps is you're going to flip your arms the reverse way. So I'm going to start my palm towards the floor, and in the same way, I'm going to sink and rock my hips backward. Siri said, did you get that? I hope you got that. Right? We're sinking our hips and coming back again. I'm getting a great forearm stretch right here. Okay, the next exercise we're going to do is working on the stretching out the lats and the upper back. So I'm going to reach into that child's pose, sink my butt back, and I'm going to feel a great stretch as I spread my fingers and push my palms into the floor as I reach back. After about 10 seconds there, I'm going to reach across and sink this way. Now I'm getting an immense stretch in this side, and it's feeling really good. I want to stay there about 10-15 seconds, crawl over to the next side. Okay, once you've done that, the upper body should be feeling pretty good, and then we're going to go in to our leg stuff. So I'm going to start from this position. I call these the sunnies. You're going to start on your stomach. You're going to kick up as far as you can, and then you're going to drop your butt back to the floor, okay? This heel I want to keep, I'll show you from the side, I want to keep as close as I can to my butt. And this leg, I'm already feeling a crazy stretch in my hamstrings. I want to try to pull my toe towards the midline of my body, and I can go in and out if it's too much to hold it there. In this position, I want to hold 30 seconds. I'm going to feel a crazy stretch in the hip. Again, my hamstrings are working, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. Once I finish 30 seconds on each side, we're going to sink and rock into an adductor position right here. My foot is flat on the floor, toe facing forward. Keeping my back flat, I'm just going to sink into my hip and come back forward. Sink into the hip, come back forward. And if I want to add a little extra stretch, I can pop that toe towards the sky. And if you want to challenge yourself, try to do it without any hands on the floor. Okay? Another great one that we're going to do for a little bit of activation is just a bear crawl hover. Okay, so from this position, I'm going to get in my bear crawl. Again, joint stack, shoulder over the elbow over the wrist. My shins are parallel to the floor. I'm in the nice bear crawl position. Now I'm just going to hover my arm and my leg for about 3 seconds and do 10 on each side. I really want to push that floor away and get the muscles in my upper back working. We want to open up the chest and the upper back as well, so if you got a twig at home, that's awesome. If not, broomstick, anything you got at home, even a vacuum probably will work. I'm going to set the shoulder blades down and back. I'm going to draw them down and back. I'm going to reach up and over and open up. Okay, I'm going to come back over and back over the top. Once you've completed the mobility exercises, we're ready to fire ourselves up a bit. So I want to go elbow to instep with T-spine at the top. I'm going to lunge forward. Back leg is going to be straight. I'm going to place my hand down to brace myself. Elbow comes down to the floor, pushing my knee out to get into the hip, and then rotating towards the sky. Once I'm finished there, I'm going to come back, sink back, draw my toe back as I'm leaning forward to get into my hamstrings. I'm going to do 5 of those guys on each side. I'll show you the other side really quickly. So again, I'm bracing the elbow down, open up, coming back, getting into the hamstrings. Okay, now we're going to work on our lateral skip. Last time we were going forward with a skip, so now I just want to go to the side. So if you have the ability to go from side to side, then you can do it that way on the spot, or if you can do 3 or 4 to the left and then come back 3 or 4 to the right, that's perfect. Okay, the last one we're going to do is we're going to work on our drops. So we're going to come up to our toes, up to the sky, drop onto one leg. Up to the sky, drop onto one leg. Really try to hold and brace that leg for about a second or two, just to show us that you can control it. Okay, now we're finished the mobility and the warm-up. Let's get into the workout. So for our first block, we're going to start with A1, A2, A3, which is going to be a glute bridge. We're going to do RDL, a Romanian deadlift, and then we're going to go into an RDL one-legged jump. Check it out. So A1, the very first exercise, if you have a band at home, again, we want to pop these around above our knee. Okay, we're going to do our glute bridges with the band on. Okay, hips up, core tight, lower back into the floor. Remember, you can rest your neck here. You don't have to keep it up like this. You're going to put a lot of stress on your neck. You're going to drive the hips up and push that band to the outside. You can hold for 3 seconds and then come back down. If you're finding that it's really easy, I want to challenge you to try some walkouts. Okay, so drive up, push the band out. If you don't have a band, it's fine. You're going to walk your feet out, keeping your hips off the floor, and then come back in. And we're going to do 10 of those. If you're really finding that it's not that difficult for you and you want to progress to the next level, keep those heels in nice and tight, line your knee with your opposite knee, and you're going to drive and try and hold for 25 seconds and come back down, and 25 seconds on the other leg, and your legs will be feeling amazing, I promise. Next one, we're going to go into that RDL. We want to focus on being on one leg, just like we are on the ice often. So I want to think about that tripod foot again. Heel, big toe, pinky toe, and I'm going to come into pushing my knee over my toe just like on the ice. Hips are coming back, keeping my shoulder, my chest square to the floor, my heel is square to the roof at the back, and then coming back in. As you see at the end there, as I was fatiguing, my leg wants to come in, so I just want to be aware of that knee and keeping it to the outside. Okay, once you're finished 8 of those, I'm going to challenge you to these jumps right here. So we're going to go back into the RDL, reach to the floor, drive up and jump. Okay, you want to think about keeping your eye on one spot so that you can focus on that one, and we're going to get 6 of those guys on each side. So again, 8 RDLs on each side, 10 glute bridges or 25 seconds if you're doing one leg, and then we're doing 6 of those jumps on each side. Okay, so for B, again, we want to focus on this upper body press. So I'm going to lie down on my back, get my weight, remember, bag of cans, kettlebell, dumbbell, whatever you have at home. And I want to think about bringing my elbow down nice and tight to my body, 3 seconds, and then driving it up. Once you get comfortable in this position, you can bring your heels in, drive your hips off the floor, and add a little bit of core and glutes into it. If you got a band, you could put the band around your knees. Think about 3 seconds down, 1 second up, and then we're going to do 10 on each side. The next exercise we're going to go into is a plank series. So the first one is a side plank. Okay, from this position, we want to drive our knee in towards us and then back out. I'm keeping this shoulder back and tall, and I'm coming in with this knee. If it's too much, again, you could do it from the knee, and we're coming in and out, and we're going to do 10 on each side. Once we finish, we're going to do an RKC front plank. Challenge you, do it with a roller if you have a roller at home. Pop your arms up. We're going to hold for 30 seconds, squeezing our shoulders back, squeezing the glutes. Core is nice and tight. If you don't have a roller, no problem. Think about putting your shoulders under your elbows and then stepping your elbow out a slight bit just to enhance that core engagement. And we're going to hold it, squeezing as hard as we can for 30 seconds. Have fun with that one. Okay, for our C, we're focusing on, again, getting into one leg. What I'm going to do, if I have a band, I'm going to pop it above my knees. I'm going to focus on that tripod position, kick my leg out, hold it for 5 seconds, and then bring it back in and do 10 on each side. If you don't have a band, you could push your knee out into your hand. You don't have to go so far, just push it out and focus on getting some engagement in that outside leg. Once you're finished, you switch to the other side, and we're going to do 10 on each side. the C2, we're gonna do Russian twist. We're gonna sink it to our butt, cross our feet. We're gonna reach from side to side. If you have a weight or a medicine ball, you can grab that weight and twist it to the side as we focus on working on those external obliques. We'll do 10 on each side, which is 20 total for that exercise. The last one for C is, again, we're on the floor in that prone position, thumbs to the roof. We're gonna come up, hamstrings and core are nice and engaged with the glutes. Hold it for 3 seconds and then back down, really squeezing the shoulders back and down and bringing that chest up. Once you've done 10, you finish the workout, and we'll see you for day 3 soon.